Mr. Emily, Henry, the good guy. Those are all the names you're known by, right? Yes. Well, I know better. What? You're not the good guy. Tell me, Mr. I'm so innocent. How did you not see the child inside Funtime Freddy's stomach? It may not be obvious at first. You know, if you just took one little glance at it, or if you looked at it for a couple of minutes, you still might not even notice it. But you built them. You built them alongside William. There's no way that you didn't notice it after having to study it for weeks, months, maybe even a few years. I mean, I wouldn't know. I don't build killer robots for a living. I don't know how long it takes to do that, but it probably takes a really long time. So you can't tell me that you didn't notice anything after studying it for so long. Mr. Emily, I hereby find you guilty of proxy murder. Alright, well that's a great way to start a video, you know, it's a little skit, a little terrible skit, because I can't do voice acting and I can't do skits. I don't know why I even bother trying to do either of them. Anyway, let's just start this. Alright, well, Henry is the good guy of the FNAF series. Or is he? I think Henry knew what William was doing, and he willingly helped. But let's give him the benefit of the doubt first. Let's say Elizabeth was the first accident Henry heard of. He could have probably thought it was a glitch. Let's say the crying child was the second accident. It was caused by his brother. It's caused by his brother. Please English, work with me here. Anyway, it was caused by his brother, so nothing suspicious. Well, nothing that suspicious, at least. And both of these deaths were in the Aftons family, so if William was really trying to hurt anyone, why his own kids? That wouldn't make any sense. And like I said, we were pretending that Elizabeth was the first one Henry heard of. It might have not been the first accident hearsay. There could have been other kids, but Henry may have not heard about those for some reason. You know, might have been living under a rock. I mean, I feel like your partner's death of his own daughter would be pretty big news, especially since, you know, he works together. You're there at the business. I mean, maybe some other kid's death isn't as important, but you know, pretty sure his daughters would be. Just throwing that out there. Anyway, but after those, Charlie was killed, and we saw in the games and in the books and literally anywhere that Henry's been mentioned, he was upset. Obviously, I mean, who wouldn't be upset? Well, anyway, after Charlie's death, 5 more had followed. And it was after their deaths is when the animatronics started going on a killing spree, or at least a more noticeable one. Don't you think Henry might question that? Well, he didn't for a while. It wasn't until William got arrested Henry got suspicious. I am throwing in the books. I know that some of you out there tell me that the books are canon, but only for some elements. And I know that. But I'm still using it as if it is completely canon, somewhat. I mean, this kind of, if I'm using it completely as canon, the whole theory's thrown off because Henry killed himself in the books. So why am I even doing this one? We're gonna pretend that William's arrest is canon. I don't know if it actually is or not. I don't think it is. So, alright, anyway, let's stop giving him the benefit of the doubt and get into the theory. I think Henry knew William was making these robots specifically to kill. Henry didn't say anything until William drunkenly killed Charlie. Now, let me give you a little bit of the information on the evolution of William's sprites. The yellow guy in Midnight Motorist, that's actually William. I will explain how that's William and not Henry, because I know for a while I believed it was Henry until I read something. Alright, so that, like I said, yellow guy is William. The proof is that in Midnight Motorist, William tried, he was already drunk, but he was probably going to the bar to try and get more drunk, if that's even possible. Well, I don't know. I don't drink. I mean, I can't drink. But if I was making this at the age I was able to drink, I don't think I would know. Because I probably wouldn't drink. But anyway, he was trying to get into the bar, and the bouncer wouldn't let him in because he probably started a fight or something. I mean, it's William. Who knows what the man did? Who knows? He probably took out the time machine. It's like, look everyone, I can time travel. Like, alright, let's get him out of here. He's crazy. Who knows what he did? No one knows. But anyway, you might notice that in any other of the mini games, his sprite color is purple, not yellow. Why is this now all of a sudden a big change, I mean, it's completely the opposite color. Well, if I am going to take a little bit from this person's theory, I hope you don't mind, I'm giving them the credits right here. You can follow them on Amino. I don't know if they have any other, platforms. They don't have a bio written, so I don't know. But these are the 3 purple sprites. If you say this one's magenta, I know it's magenta, but magenta is a form of purple. It's pink and purple mixed together. So, it's purple. Shut up. As you can see, having 2 purple sprites, I know the magenta one, we're going to count it because it's the same person, can create confusion. I can't speak English. And you might be wondering, how can that create confusion? Well, Michael's sprite is now purple because of Ennard. Or however you say his name. I'm going to keep saying it like that. But if they ever had to share a minigame together, it would be kind of confusing without context, especially if it just started out inside the house and boom, it's Michael and William and they're both purple sprites. It's like, which one's which? I mean, we might be able to figure it out after a little while, but it'd still be kind of confusing. So I feel like Scott decided that since he can't go back and change the old colors of William, he decided just to make that one yellow and continue that from there. So that way it wouldn't get mixed up. But then, Scott making William yellow caused more confusion, so good job. Great job. Good job. We're just gonna create more confusion than there already is in the timeline. That's great. That's great. Alright. Anyway, now that we know what the sprite meanings are, we can continue. So anyway, after Charlie was killed, Henry reported William because he didn't want to seem suspicious, why? It's like, oh, your daughter's dead, and you know who did it, because you're helping the guy murder other children. So now you want to say, hey, I think it might be this guy. I mean, I'm not 100% sure. I totally wasn't helping him or anything, but I mean, I think it could be this guy. And so when they arrested him, they probably took Henry in for questioning as well, to either get more information or see if it could have been him, and he's just trying to set him up, which he is, in this theory, is what I'm trying to prove. Which is why probably this question came up. You built the robots, and the robots are programmed to kill. You see what I'm trying to say? I mean, you're the one who's building these things, and they're programmed to kill. He's not really doing too much. It's more of you who's doing it, so... Which Henry decided to respond with, well, I don't know. I'm just going off what the blueprints say. Which also doesn't make any sense, because if you're going off what the blueprints say, that means you know that the robots are being made to kill, and you're just doing it without any question or removing that feature. You're just like, oh, it says these robots are made to kill. Well, you know what, I'm gonna put it in there anyway, even though that's morally wrong and I'm supposed to be the one who's against that. You know, and for some reason they believed him, even though, like I just said, that whole little, whoa. I mean, I knew that they were, you know, I just going off what the blueprints say, and if I knew what the blueprints say, that means I know that they're murdering kids, and I didn't do anything to stop it. So, for some reason, they believed him. But not everyone did, because if we're taken back to the books, and we're gonna pretend that he's not killed himself in there, Charlie mentions that some people thought it was Henry and not William. Which, good on you, people. You're right. Or at least in this theory you are. Until Scott confirms or denies it, you're right in my theory. Well, anyway, after they arrested him, William wasn't charged with anything for, I don't know exactly why. I think there's legal reasons. That's the excuse they give in the book. Legal reasons. I don't know, I don't study law. But anyway, since he wasn't charged with anything, he came back and he destroyed the animatronics and blamed it on the guard, which is why you got fired for tampering with the animatronics, even though it was actually William. Yay, fun. Anyway, so the souls came back and chased him into the Springlock suit. You know, seen in this minigame. Well, apparently 30 years go by and Fazbear's Fright is built, or either it's Fazbear's Fright is built and then 30 years go by and it burns down. One of those two. Basically 30 years go by. That's all we need to know, is 30 years go by. And guess what? In those 30 years, Henry doesn't do anything. He's just there. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't say, you know, maybe I should have taken the suit, not tooken. That's not the whatever form. That's not the right use it's taken. Anyway, he's like, I should have taken that suit, the chance that I got it, and burned it or locked it somewhere so it could, you know, not gain sentience and go on a whole murdering spree as in, you know, a decaying rabbit. But, you know, I didn't. And even if he did do that, why is he still letting, you know, Fazbear's Entertainment and Afton Robotics keep making more stuff, which is just going to make more killer things? Why isn't he saying, hey, stop that? Okay, thanks. And then, you know, just why? Why didn't Henry do that if he really wanted to stop William? Don't you think he would have done that? That's the logical thing to do, but he doesn't. He doesn't do anything until FNAF 6. He lets everything happen until FNAF 6, which is when they burn the place down, Michael and Henry together. But I feel like the only reason why Henry actually helped with this whole plan is because Michael reached out to him. He's like, hey, I kind of can't do this alone because he's a time traveler, for crying out loud. I mean, we need to take him on together. You know him pretty well, and he's my father. I know I should know him pretty well. You want to help me burn him for the second time? Alright, cool. And I feel like the only reason why Henry accepted is to keep the good guy image on him. Because, I mean, if he's like, no, I don't think I want to help you, and then hangs up the phone, you know. That would be like, oh, so you really are actually helping him. You know, you're on William's side and not mine. Alright. So, basically what I'm trying to say is Henry is just pretending to be the good guy. So that way people, you know, don't get suspicious of him, because it'd be weird if they found out that it was actually Henry who was helping all along. Now, I'm not saying that this makes William the good guy. He is still very much the villain of this whole series. He's still very much the one of the worst human beings to ever live in a fictional game. But I'm saying that they both should have been arrested and they both should have been charged. I don't charge people with murder. That's not my job. I can't get a job yet, but William should have been charged with first-degree murder and Henry with proxy murder, or at least that's what I've gotten from my little bit of research I did. There's the definitions for these two if you want to just, read that real quick. Alright, hey, you made it to the end of the video. Before I get to what's coming up next and things like that, I want to just say thank you to these people. There's that guy, and he's the random person on Omegle. I usually don't come on here unless, of course, it's absolutely necessary, and I have very, very good reasons why I don't like coming on here. Very good reasons why I don't like coming on here. I even hate coming on here to ask questions, because 1, it takes forever, 2, I get people who try to joke around, and 3, I get those people who I will not mention. But you know what I'm talking about if you've ever spent 2 seconds on this site. But hey, at least I got one person who was taking it seriously and actually trying to help. I sometimes get these people. I got these kind of people when I was looking for the survival rate of a frontal lobe injury, which I didn't actually figure it out until 30 days later, so on my own, because for some reason Google just wanted to be annoying for 30 days, and then finally, or 29 days should I say, and then finally on the 30th day it's like, hey, you know what, I'll finally give you the answer, you're welcome. Anyway, moving on to what is coming next. I do know for a fact that these will be the episodes, and these will be the order that they are in, because I've already made the beginning cards for them, or the thumbnail if you want to call it that, because the beginning card and the thumbnail are the exact same. So these will be the next ones. Who possesses Mr. Hippo? Is William actually Willy Wonka? I can't say that one without laughing. And why is Ballora's design like that, and what's inside the chest? If you're wondering the reason why I always keep putting what's inside the chest last, is because my voice is going on me. Hold on. What's inside that chest is always coming last because I feel like that one's gonna be the hardest to find the information for. Minus, the whole finding what the murder charges should be for Henry and William. But other than that, that one's probably gonna be the next hardest. So anyway, hope you stay tuned. I will see you then.